Small is beautiful. Does that sound weird? In the day when we look for the most popular, the most likes, or the most watched, like when you see your comment got 0 likes on your video, or something you put out there on social media only had 7 views, do you say to yourself, be honest, do you say to yourself, what's wrong with it? I'm Roach, Mark Roach, and I'm here to help you get what you want, what you need, and maybe to understand the difference. You know, we all start somewhere, and if you never start, you suppress your hopes and dreams, and you remain in a prison, just holding a fantasy of what it might be like to be free, to express this part of yourself that remains dormant. And if you set crazy high expectations, like, well, no one's going to like this, or, you know, unless I get 100,000 or 1 million views, then I'm not really somebody. If you don't set those crazy high expectations, then maybe you'll have a chance to actually express yourself and to get on your true path. But otherwise, you're not. Years ago, one of the most powerful and influential men in the oil business gave me a secret. And it's from a book written by a guy named Schumacher. And the book is called Small is Beautiful. It said we were harming the environment by trying to expand everything to be too big, that we're basically overpopulating the planet beyond the capacity of our resources. And, you know, he goes into some things that really just what it boils down to, there's a lot of lies and stories being told to hide the truth and to build this scenario that has expanded our human population and has really created a lot of our environmental problems on the planet. So the book, it's a very humanitarian book, and it was written in 1973, which was a very pivotal time in our history. And I'm not going to go deep into that, but you know, it's at odds with a lot of things that were happening at that time. The 1970s gave birth to a lot of major shifts in power, and new fortunes were forming here in the US, much because of our nuclear dominance and our connections in the Middle East with oil. So I was a young man at the time, and this perplexed me for a long time. You know, I was working with people who were successful in their professions, successful in material ways, popular in community and in politics. These were people that people were looking to for safety and security and leadership. And I mean, I'm in Texas where everything is supposed to be bigger and better, right? Well, not always. The beauty of small is that it keeps the focus in the moment between people. That's where the spiritual connections thrive. These spirit-led projects can get huge, but they always have a seed that actually began at a very, very small scale, at a small activity, and that activity is very individual, very private, very personal, very small in the beginning. And the temptation is to try to look to the big numbers to validate your experience to others. And that's where we get off track. So if you've been through trauma and you're trying to get your life back, do not let the numbers discourage you from starting, or your expectations being too high that might keep you from starting. Don't let those numbers or those expectations discourage you from continuing once you do get started or restarted, if you're like me, it may take several starts to allow your body to recover, your mind, the peace, and for some harmony to come into your life that allows you to begin something that is truly meaningful and gripping for your spiritual life, that lets you manifest and express yourself in your life to others and reach others. Some of the greatest and lasting stories, legends, and myths all began with individuals. And then they were amplified by a small group who formed around them. You can probably imagine who I'm thinking of and know of some yourself. So remind yourself that when you're dealing with discouraging numbers, when you feel yourself putting yourself down, remind yourself to just stay in the moment. Find that trusted ally, that friend or loved one. Connect with them. Find that small group of others who you may feel comfortable with being open with, and connect. Feel and be open with them the best that you can at this point in your journey. Being in the moment is where the power begins, the sustainable, the authentic power. That's where the magic begins, and that's where the spiritual connections get confirmed, and your confidence and self-esteem can be restored. These relationships that follow may very well be the beginning of something larger that's founded in the real and fundamentally supportive, though small. A seed that may help you move mountains one day. The world does not become a better place with millions of likes on a popular video or song, or by following heroes that are living a life that you fantasize living yourself. It will become a better place by you being more true and truthful with yourself and in your one-on-one connections. Remember, that's why small is beautiful. I'm Roach, Mark Roach. All the best.